Hi, Paul Sackett's Good News Planet. I'm speaking with Andrea Hoffman. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. You're the founder of Diversity Affluence, and you have a website, diversityaffluence.com, and we're going to talk about an awards to celebrate the success and diversity in America. Congratulations. Tell us about it.
Thank you, thank you. It's a labor of love, actually, and this is the second annual Diversity Affluence Brunch in the Hamptons, where we celebrate leaders, achievers, and pioneers of diversity. And so what that looks like is we honor 3 individuals for their efforts. They've either progressed the diversity agenda in America, or they themselves have achieved a significant level of success as what's called a minority. And I say what's called is because I don't typically like to use that term.
Okay. All righty. It's a kind of a census term.
Well, it is, and it's a bit archaic in certainly in my business, but I think overall it flies in the face of stereotypes, and we're living in an age where probably not only are a lot of new things needed, but in order to change paradigms and have the dialogue that we should be having, I think some language needs to change. So in my business, and what Diversity Affluence proper does is because we help brands to understand and market to affluent ethnic consumers across ethnicity, we use the term royaltons, which I've trademarked.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's how we define the consumer, and I think that avoids, a certain level of stereotyping.
Okay, I like it. Our audience actually knows that I've had a multicultural advertising and marketing company for 26 years. You might not know, but
No, I did not know that.
So we've been involved with the different ethnic communities for a very long time, and we've done some of the major research in that as well. A long time ago, we focused on it much more, but starting in '85. And so when I heard about this through our good friend Rob about what you're doing, I think it's wonderful. Mainly because I like the word you said, the royaltons, and I like concerns about the word stereotype.
Right.
So you're passionate here. Black is the New Green, Marketing to Affluent African Americans, which you co-wrote. What does that mean, that book name?
It actually means that the Black consumer, predominantly in this case the affluent African American or AAA, has significant purchasing power. From our last research, which is a couple of years old at this point, it was $87.3 billion, and our guess, along with my economist, our guess is probably double that if we actually had some accurate, insight. But it's the best that we have, and it's 87.3. So, but as one of my business advisors said yesterday, green is the new green. So people, I thought it was hysterical. But, people with money or people that marketers should acknowledge, obviously for a certain level of products and services.
Okay. I always thought, being in this and being, in essence, a product of multicultural marketing in my own personal life, being Jewish and Hungarian, and that America is this, what somewhere people use the word mosaic, and people have other, breakups. But what it sort of like means, and I wonder what you think, it's like marketing to different communities. Certain communities, they just stay closer. They came to America, they hang out, they maybe geographically live near each other. I don't think it's really a matter of, color or race or something. It's for people that are in the business, it's about a way to get a message to a group and things like that.
Right.
What do you think?
Very true. I mean, what we try and convey in the book is that this is one audience, and my business doesn't necessarily focus solely on the affluent African American or the AAA, but it's an audience that I wrote a book on with Len Burnett. It's an audience that we have some thought leadership and expertise around. But the truth is that, a targeted marketing strategy should really be what is on the minds and, the pens of chief marketing officers today and CEOs, because that's really how you build critical mass, is these sort of niche and target groups, what I call these concentric circles And
Mm-hmm.
in each circle, you have a different target group, and then working together builds critical mass, and that is the new mass marketing.
Uh-huh.
So
Niche marketing, and it works, and it's a big world. So
it
to have
works, yeah.
to have some kind of dividers of some sort in a positive manner, in a positive thinking,
Right.
it's a good thing. It puts some and today's social climate, social networking, and all that. That's what it's built on, isn't it? Communities.
It is. Tribes, communities, there's a lot of different ways to describe it, but, overall, your sort of umbrella should be that, you have a very serious, marketing strategy, and within that you have these niche and target groups. How you then orchestrate that and get them to all, if they need to, whether it be interact together or have some sort of common bonds, their common bond is your brand or your brand experience, or the service that you're providing. But at the end of the day, if you target them specifically through the media that they consume and the lifestyle habits that are important to them and those touch points, you can orchestrate this so that the common bonds become, sort of the single platform, but you're reaching them differently. And, I am sensitive to the challenges of people in marketing and branding, because how do you change big industry? How do you change organizations that do business one way? How do you read an article one day and then you read a similar article the next day and they're conflicting in the advice that they're giving you? And so sometimes it's easier to do nothing, but just because it's easier doesn't mean that it's what's best for your company or your brand or your business.
Mm-hmm.
So what did somebody say to me the other day? You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then you'll get, sort of push through the pain and you'll get to the other side. And, if you read everything about what 2012 really stands for and the change that's going on in society and, with the universe at large, there's a big shift with people wanting to fulfill what their experience dictates and what's right for them versus what they're being told.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a universal sort of global thing that's going on, and that's a shift in 2012. So, you're either ahead of the curve or you're behind it.
Okay, and you're right. I will say woman because women also, I think, is part of diversity, at least by the census denominations.
It is.
So, well, second annual Diversity Affluence Brunch. Let's get down with that. We've thought about the world of diversity. You've really now taken it to this other level and giving kudos to those that are involved and that are diversity could be considered that community, right? And so tell us about the actual event, and I know you have some great sponsors, and tell us the good things, the good support you're getting.
I will. And let me also just sort of quickly say that there are many, many other events and awards events that celebrate a similar, audience. This is just one of them. But what I do is I like to do things that really stand out. And when you think about the Hamptons, you don't think about diversity. So to me, it was a great location to really, if I'm talking about wanting people to change their perception, we have to then lead by example, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so last year we had 3 brunches, and we launched it as a series, and we launched it with Jaguar. So we ended up honoring 3 people at each brunch. And this year we distilled it down to 1 brunch on August 21st. And our partners on this who are very, very excited is J.P. Morgan Chase,
right?
Baume & Mercier,
mm-hmm.
And Belvedere.
Okay.
And we are celebrating and honoring Madeline Nelson, who is a Senior Vice President of A&R at Sony Music. And we are honoring Emil Wilbekin, who has a long history in urban media and has really pioneered some interesting things with, he's the editor-in-chief of Essence.com.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sort of been following him, he just did an article on same-sex marriages and, really took a risk with that. And we're also honoring Keith Clinkscales, who originally launched with my partner who wrote the book, Black is the New Green. He originally launched Vibe magazine with Quincy Jones, and he had Vanguard Media, and now he's really making an impact in the business world at ESPN. And
Right.
he's really looked upon as an agent of change, and taking his ideas and helping companies really harness the power of those ideas, whether they help the company be distinct or increase their bottom line or all the above. And so he's an excellent business person. And so we're very, very excited to have him. And our host is media personality Lola Ogunnaike, who is a Nigerian journalist, or she's from Nigeria. And we'll have about 100 guests there. They're all high net worth individuals, and they're coming out to honor and celebrate all of these wonderful people.
Yay! We like this. It's a great thing. I got the big honor about a month or so to get to Quincy and to interview him. What a legend, right?
He absolutely is, and I think he speaks to having a vision, having a passion, having conviction, and keeping your head down and forging forward despite what anybody thinks. Yeah.
Hard-working guy. That was his greatest success. In fact, I think Color Purple gave him some aggravation by the chance that he finished that one. He's such a talented person, right? Well, you can have a lot of talent. You got a cool website also.
Thank you.
So you got a lot going. This is going to be a great event. And I think it's well needed, and I think the Hamptons is an interesting place to do it. We're making lots of shows out there in the Hamptons, and a lot of good things happening there. And I love to see that more good things are happening that are real, representative of respecting each other and positive, as opposed to some of what they have of this crazy wild nightlife, which is not only the scene. There's actually people that live there in that area that go to work, and there are
people that and this event this year is focusing on celebrating and bringing together affluent or high net worth African and African American people, but each event is a little different. Last year we had a mix of multicultural honorees and attendees, but a lot of people don't know that there is a significant community that's very under the radar, which most affluent African Americans are, certainly the old guard, and they live out there and they vacation out there. And so to do this for them in a way that's very laid back with shorts and a nice shirt, rather than these sort of evening black tie events is really wonderful to them. And it comes off of the heels of the Evidence Dance Company annual benefit out there, which has about 300 affluent African American supporters. So it's a really fabulous weekend. And I think even a shout out to the Apollo and Ron Perlman for hosting the Apollo fundraiser at his home. I think that's Saturday evening. So it's a weekend of affluent African Americans.
We did a great for a charity of giving food to Liberia. Magdula Dior, I believe, went to their home. They were at the Hamptons Polo, and then they had a party after it. And it's tremendous. And I'll even say at the Hamptons thing that I stopped Dan from Dan's paper, who was talking about this one child facility, for underprivileged, and actually going way back to when, let's call it diversity or minorities were not treated probably so good. And they have this child development facility in East Hampton where they were raising money to go towards that, to give people an outlet. And the Hispanic community has grown immensely out there in that part of the region as well. So there's a lot of good things going on, and this is recognition of Royaltons. Is that it?
Yes, Royaltons. And, I think I'm just very, very proud of the fact that we were able to carve out a niche for the affluent and really pioneer what's here and what's possible. And we have found that not only do marketers appreciate us, but the consumers appreciate us, and we get emails and notes on a regular basis saying, thank you for painting a more accurate picture.
It's good. I'm going to put a shout out, but he's not with us any longer, who is a real Montauk resident, Percy Heath. jazz bass player from the Modern Jazz Quartet, and who was on our board for many years. And he was a local yokel, for years
Right.
and years and years in the Montauk area. Lot of good things going on, and I can obviously see that you're doing it, and it's wonderful. So, and I'm going to be there.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to I look forward to meeting you and having you, and we appreciate you help us spreading the good word, and more good work coming down the pike. So everybody just keep their eye out, and let us know if they have any suggestions for things that we should be doing, people we should be interviewing.
Sounds great.
Let me ask
one last. It's one world. We're all brothers and sisters. I think we're all on the same page. I got that sense. So let me ask you one last question. And so, what is your good news, Andrea?
What is my good news?
What's good news for you?
Well, boy, I can't really announce it yet. I will know more in the next 30 days. But I will tell you this: it's around revolutionizing an industry and diversity and inclusion. That's number one. The other one is around an African initiative, but that's all I can say, and I think the next 30 to 90 days you will be able to hear about all of our groundbreaking work.
Great. I look forward to it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.